Hello and welcome to Training Module 7.1. Purpose of 7.1 is to cover the first steps of reading bunks and creating mixer loads. It's important for users to understand there's two ways to create loads using the feeding app on beef books. The first, which we'll show here in 7.1, incorporates what we call our bunk manager, which goes through the steps of scoring bunks individually by pen and then calling for a dry matter intake per animal in that pen. So you should understand that we're making one call in a 24-hour period per pen, regardless of the number of times we're feeding in a day. So if you're calling for 22 pounds of dry matter, it's going and you're feeding twice a day. If you have multiple feedings entered in the group settings of that group, beef books will automatically split 11 pounds of dry matter per feeding unless you tell it to do otherwise. So from the feedlot dashboard on the feeding app, the first thing you'll recognize here towards the top is the red text that says bunk readings. And it says here we have 5 unread bunks. Below that is the read bunks bar. To initiate the process, you would select that blue bar that says read bunks. If you press and hold, it highlights like this, but you simply just need to click on it. So once you've done that, you'll be put into the first pen, which here we have pen 9. And we've got pen 9, 11, 15, 16, and 20 that are our 5 bunks that need read. So I will make comment here that just because we only are showing 5 pens doesn't mean there's not other pens in the feedlot that exist. It's simply that these 5 pens are the only pens on my feedlot that have cattle assigned to them. So if you have a pen that has a balance of 0, it will not ask you to make a bunk call. So on the pen here, you can see pen 9 reads current. There's 3 statuses. Start, which means nothing has been done. Current just simply states that you're currently on that pen. And complete. So below that we have the pen title, which is pen 9, and we have a 7-day history here, which will show the pounds of dry matter called and the pounds of dry matter delivered. Predicted percentage right now is just a calculation of a percentage of what was called versus delivered. For instance, if you called for 100 or 20 pounds of dry matter, you delivered 20 pounds of dry matter, that should read 100%. Below that, we have a scoring table of 1 through 5, 1 being slick and hungry, and 5 more than 25% of last feeding is remaining in the bunk. And one other comment here is I have all dashes. These numbers will show up here if the bunk call has been made from the feeding app. This feedlot is purely set up for demonstration purposes, so I'm not actively making calls in here on a daily basis or delivering feed. Below the scoring table here, we have the view pen information bar. Down here at the bottom, if I select it, it shades gray. So you simply need to click on it. When you do that, you'll get the pen detail, which here shows us the group name, their steers. They came in at 801 pounds. They've been on feed for 273 days and on the current ration for 1 day. Above that, you'll also see there's 159 head in the pen, consuming ration 4 off a template BB 1119. To get back to the dashboard, simply select the back arrow up here next to your feedlot name, and we'll go ahead and score our bunks. So whether you score a 1 or a 5 makes no difference on the actual dry matter call. When you select that number, It'll pull up the most recently called. Here we're demonstrating a different type of feedlot, so we had a half pound in there. And we'll select 12.5. From there, you can either select the next pen. So I can either click on pen 11 here, or just take my finger and swipe pen 9 to the left. Now pen 9 has shaded from current to complete, and now we're on pen 11. You can see here on May 15th, we called for 7.5 pounds, and we gave that score, Bunk, a score of 3. We'll go ahead and call here, call for 8 pounds, swipe to the next pen, 12.5. So 12.5 was a current call. If we determine we're going to leave that same dry matter call, you simply just need to click on it, confirm that, and swipe to the next pen, and it should save that call. Pen 16. We can make a change. Pen 20. We'll bump that pen to 21 3/4. And we can swipe back. Now you can see up here at the top on our pen list, each of these is now updated to complete. So we've completed our calls for May 22nd. Now, before you leave the feeding app, you need to hit the back arrow and find the update button here. You can see it says last synced 9 minutes ago. So if we click that update button, it should send an update back to the cloud and should read last synced a few seconds ago with a timestamp here at 3:42 p.m. So that wraps up module 7.1 covering bunk reads. You can see the next step in module 7.2.